Okay, question number 4 hinges upon a few facts that you need to know. So on the left of this slide, you could see this fact about vertical angles. So if you have these angles that form an X, then these angles here are going to be congruent to each other. And similarly, these angles here will be congruent to each other. The red and the blue angles aren't necessarily going to be congruent to each other. And then the other fact that you need to know is that the angles, interior angles of a triangle add to 180. So with that information in mind, this problem becomes fairly simple. So we can determine the measure of this angle here because we know that 70 plus 30 gives us 100. And we know that this angle will be whatever 180 minus 100 gives us. So we know it will be 80. And then we know that because of the vertical angle rule, we know this angle right here will be 80. So therefore, t plus w will be 100. And I should note that it's not necessarily true that t and u have the values of 70 and 30, which some students seem to conclude from this, but it's not necessarily true. And it looks from this drawing like it is not the case because it doesn't say not drawn to scale and these angles don't look similar to each other. So you don't need to know that for this problem, but I did want to note that because I do find many students assuming that t and u must have the values of 30 and 70, which is not necessarily true.